Okay, so to make sure that I don't screw the proverbial pooch on this one, we are going to first thing go over the assignment. Yeah, I said screw the proverbial pooch. I have nothing else, stand behind my idiotic statements. Probably I should turn this thing on, as they say. Okay, so this is in content, available for all, but we will go over it in class. Our assignment is called rhetorical analysis. You have a draft due on Monday, the 9th, which is which Monday? Next Monday. And you bring hard copies to class, 2 hard copies, and or two hard copies to 2 class. The final is due Friday the same week, 11:59 p.m. on D2L. Is that clear? Okay. I'll just read it. For this assignment, you will analyze a text, image, video, designated space, or other human-made object. The analysis is rhetorical in that it will focus on the purpose of your chosen object, who it is designed to reach, audience, how it attempts to reach them, strategies and tactics, and what it conveys, message or purpose. This assignment does not have a length requirement, but it must thoroughly analyze its object and meet all expectations for the assignment. That is, most likely not less than 1,000 words, and probably a good chunk more than that. Probably more, about 15. I just go for 1,000 because there's no reason to be wordy. Okay. In the spirit of libertarian paternalism, you may choose any object to analyze, but if you choose something not covered in class, you must have it approved by Crumbo. I am Crumbo. You can get it approved by my mom too if you want. Not my brother. He's not a reliable Crumbo. Certainly not my children. You may use any method covered in the reading. These include classical, Aristotelian, feminist, ideological, narrative, or metaphorical styles of analysis. The rudiments of these styles have been outlined in the student guide and in Writing Public Lives, and you are free to use available internet resources and or Crumbo, this Crumbo, don't bother my mom, to supplement those readings if you should choose any of these approaches. All right, so feedback time. What can you do your rhetorical analysis on? Anything. Okay, so can it be one of the articles that we read for class? Okay, can it be a shoe? Yes, you'd have to get it approved, but yes. Could it be the Grand Canyon?
Yes.
You could do a picture of the Grand Canyon, but you couldn't do the Grand Canyon because it's not man-made, contrary to popular belief. Okay. I grew up there.
The Grand Canyon?
Uh-huh. That's why I'm so damn ghetto. It's not really. It's more like res. Okay. All right. Can you use a feminist? Can you do a feminist reading of your object? Yes. Do you have to? Can you do an Aristotelian one? Did we cover Aristotelian in class? Is it in your reading? Yes. But you can do it. And I won't count off for it. All right. You can do anything you want, any way you want to do it. It just has to not suck. I'm not even going to say be good. It has to not suck. Not wrong is what we go for. Okay. Also in the spirit of libertarian paternalism, you are offered a default option that the specific readings and focus of the class has specifically prepared you for, specifically. You will be required to follow them. Since I make fun of other people's writing, I'll make fun of my writing too. Specifically. Nice work, Crumbo. You freaking idiot. Stupid. Oh. Did not intend to hit myself that hard. Wow, that happened. On camera. You will be required to follow the format of the default. I think I might have concussion syndrome. No matter which method you choose, but you will alter the step 4 how section accordingly. So, again, if you decide to do, say, feminist reading, then we're going to go through the steps on step 4, and when we get to step 4, I'll reiterate what we're going to do. So this is the default option. That's a monkey. If you can't see, he's got headphones on, a crushed beer can in one hand, an empty pizza box over there, and he's watching porn with headphones on. And what I take to be some sort of market in Kiev. Okay, step 1. What? Or what, as we say. Choose an object. Provide a thorough description of your object in one robust paragraph. I like the word robust, as you will see. Robust is a good word, don't you think? Robust. A robust smoke. No. A robust beer. A robust paragraph. Be as objective as possible. Pretend you are describing it to a complete moron who needs absolutely everything explained to him. I wrestled with moron. I was like, should I do idiot, simpleton, moron, moron. You've got to choose your words carefully. You can't say idiot. Do you guys know that stupid is considered a cuss word in preschool? How did this happen? Was it for you? Were you allowed to say stupid when you were a kid?
I think so.
Huh. I consider it like a good way to, police the students to police themselves. That was stupid. Oftentimes it is, especially with preschool. Basically everything they say is stupid.
The word hate is starting to become like a sort of curse word.
That's because it's like a negative connotation. That's why, like, my sister doesn't say that either. Or that you don't. She's like, you don't. And she gets upset.
Can you say, that was cognitively impaired?
I don't think she knows that word.
That's what I'm going to teach my kids. Just say cognitively impaired. It's not on the cuss word list. She'll still get in trouble and I'll have to talk to the preschool teachers again. Anyway, pretend you are describing it to a complete moron who needs absolutely everything explained to him. This should occupy a short paragraph. So this is the paragraph you're going to do. This is step 1. You get a paragraph, you get your object, and you describe it thoroughly. It is a commercial with a girl squirting ketchup all over herself and rubbing a burger on her body, ostensibly to sell a hamburger. All right. Step 2, who? Identify the primary audience. Do not say general audience. Do not say general audience. Do not say general audience. Should you say general audience? No. I'm going to say 4 of you are going to say this is for a general audience. Maybe 5. Because you hate me. And that's okay. You can hate me and I'm stupid. So there. I am stupid. You've probably done something stupid. Nothing is stupid as Pete Carroll in the Super Bowl. But, all right. While it is likely that your object is intended to reach as many people as possible, you must determine specifically whom it will most probably appeal to. You may have to think. For example, if you are examining a text, look at the author's word choice. If the words are polysyllabic, Latinate, or otherwise erudite, the work is likely targeting, intentionally or not, a highly educated audience. If it uses jargon, slang, or idiomatic uses of language, it is targeting a specific group that uses that language. The same goes for visual cues. Goodness. That's a warning, Crumbo. Happens again, you're out of here with an absence. I mean it. Because the new thing, it goes to all your devices. So my computer, my pad, and my phone all went off. I think that counts as 3.
Leave, so absence.
No, you have to stay. I have to leave.
You can't even come back Wednesday.
I can't even come back Wednesday. But you have to be here.
Mom will take attendance.
Yeah, if you're not here,
I'll send someone to take attendance. I'm not going to cheat you guys out of a class. Okay. The same goes for visual cues, sound, music, fonts, and pace of a visual presentation. If you're looking at an advertisement, come back. If you're looking at an advertisement, and then I was just like, whoa, and I ripped his eyeballs out, and then I punched him, and then I poured acid in his nose. It was just, he was just sitting there bubbling, and I'm just like, you know what to do, and I was just like, well, you know what, try some hot sauce. So we put hot sauce in there. If you're looking at an advertisement and there are people in it, what do they look like? How are they dressed? Who would this person dressed like that appeal to? Are they an object of desire or a model to be emulated? So this is important. So like if you've got an ad with a scantily clad woman with enlarged pupils and really good makeup, who's it appealing to? It's in a Vogue magazine. Women. Yeah. So why are women? So why is there a scantily clad woman that's all like oily and tanned up with heavy eye makeup in a Vogue magazine? Is it because you all are lesbians? Every woman is a lesbian. Is that why? That's a hypothesis, but let's use Occam's razor and just say, all right. So probably she's not an object of desire per se, but an object to be emulated or something, right? Probably knowing women, it's somewhere in between, but but overall, right? It's an object of desire to be emulated. I think that's the way to put it. Okay, but if it's in say a porno, then it's probably not, right? It's probably more for males, right? Okay. Huh? Or she's a lesbian. Actually, could just be a lesbian. I don't know. I know a lot of lesbians, but I don't know any lesbians that look like that. But I don't know any people that look like that. Where does this object appear? If it is in a huge book, for example, The Blank Slate. Can you guys not talk? That'd be great, thank you. If it's in a huge book, for example, The Blank Slate, who would read it? If it is an ad, where does it appear? On Keeping Up with the Kardashians, or True Animal Stories of Heroism, or Bassmaster? Has anyone seen Bassmaster? It's a fishing show. It rocks. I've never seen it. In the end, does your object best appeal to cool kids, insecure, pimply-faced teenagers, blue-collar, manly truck drivers, scattered but driven, upper-middle-class, self-conscious soccer moms, aging, well-to-do white males anxious about their sexual attractiveness and ability to perform, or someone else? This should occupy 1 or 2 robust paragraphs. So this is step 2. So you've done your summary, and now you've got to do like a deep audience analysis. And you say, this is just for anybody. No. Right. You've got to think about it. Okay. Step 3. Why? This is a monkey about to blow something up. My question is why? Why is this monkey going to blow something up?
It's in the
A bunch of
You know what?
misbehaved monkeys.
It's got a good Elvis suit, though. I think it's a chimp. I don't think it's a bonobo. Bonobos have darker faces. He sure is adorable, though, and he's not wearing a diaper, so I wouldn't want to be the guy that has to clean that suit. All right, step 3, why? What is your object intended to accomplish? its purpose, as one might say? Is it to convince you of a different way of thinking? If it is to convince you of a different way of thinking, why would this be important? Is it intended to make you do something? Is it ultimately an act of self-justification? Is it supposed to help you with life decisions? Is it trying to sell something? Is it trying to get you to get up and buy it right now? Or is it only trying to associate a feeling with the brand? You should be able to accomplish this in one paragraph. So now we've got another paragraph on what to do with why. And so far we just got everything separate up. Step 4, how. Okay, so this is the step that if you're not doing, if you're doing what I'm recommending, then you're going to do what we go over. But if you're doing Marxist ideological analysis, this is where you use your Marxist ideology instead of what I'm saying, or your feminist, or your feminist analysis. This is where that takes place. But you'll do essentially the same thing. It's just instead of picking these, you'll just pick like patriarchal reinforcement or degradation of the female body, or the institutional structural inequities built into the logic of capitalism, or whatever. Okay, but for the default one, which is what we're going over, this is what we're going to do. Step 4, how. So this picture is a very famous experiment of nobody ever thought that monkeys could actually think until they started doing these experiments, and this was the first replicable experiment involving chimps where they showed an ability to use teamwork and problem solving in order to get, of all things, a banana tied on a string just out of reach. They successfully got it. It was a big day for monkey kind. In the spirit of the summary section of your CTK assignments, determine which of Haidt's intuitive moral systems your object appeals to or attempts to appeal to. And Haidt's intuitive moral systems are in the Schirmer or in the Haidt, which we haven't read yet, but it's available. Here's a review of them. These are just copied from Haidt's book, which I didn't make you read because it's too long, but I'll just go through them. The Care Harm Foundation evolved in response to adaptive challenge of caring for vulnerable children. It makes us sensitive to signs of suffering and need. It makes us despise cruelty and want to care for those who are suffering. Okay. So like the what was the worst Super Bowl ad? The dead kid one, right? Like, whoa, really? But that appeals to your Care Harm Foundation thing, right? It's like, oh my God, the kids are just dying in droves of their flat screen TVs falling on them, and household accidents actually don't kill that many kids. You worry about diabetes. That kills lots of people. The Fairness Cheating Foundation evolved in response to the adaptive challenge of reaping the rewards of cooperation without getting exploited. It makes us sensitive to indications that another person is likely to be good or bad partner for collaboration and reciprocal altruism. It makes us want to shun or punish cheaters. So this is what we just read about in the green, right? The green was just a big thing on this, and we're probably not going to be able to talk about it today, but if the green's where you go to for this. The Loyalty Betrayal Foundation evolved in response to the adaptive challenge of forming and maintaining coalitions. It makes us sensitive to signs that another person is or is not a team player. It makes us trust and reward such people, and it makes us want to hurt, ostracize, or even kill those who betray us or our group by calling a crappy play at the end of the Super Bowl. The Authority Subversion Foundation evolved in response to the adaptive challenge of forging relationships that will benefit us within social hierarchies. It makes us sensitive to the signs of rank or status and to signs that other people are or are not behaving properly given their position. So this is if somebody's like a good role model, like the Old Spice guy, like he's appealing to his authority as being a desirable male. So I'm supposed to listen to him so I can smell like him. So my girlfriend will close her eyes and pretend like she's with him when she's with me, which is hot. The Sanctity Degradation Foundation evolved initially in response to the adaptive challenge of the omnivore's dilemma, and then to the broader challenge of living in a world of pathogens and parasites. What's the omnivore's dilemma? Do you guys remember? What's an omnivore? Yeah. So, what?
I thought it needs everything.
Yeah, it eats everything. So if you eat everything, you can get yourself into a lot of trouble, right? So the omnivore's dilemma is if I can eat everything, but I can't eat everything, like I've got to like figure out what to eat, like apples, good, grubs, good, vomit. Because what happens if I eat vomit? Probably I get sick, right? So if like I have two ancestors, one of them, there's two guys trying to compete to get one girl, way back in my line. One of them eats vomit, one of them doesn't. The guy eats vomit, gets dysentery, dies, he's out of the gene pool. The guy that was like, ew, successfully reproduced. So the gene to not eat vomit was propagated in the species. That's the omnivore's dilemma. And then to the broader challenge of living in a world of pathogens and parasites. So that's, like why if somebody's like all sick and covered with snot, we don't go lick them, right? Yeah, exactly. It includes the behavioral immune system, which makes us wary of a diverse array of symbolic objects and threats. So we talked about this, the guy who has sex with a chicken and then eats it. We're like, ooh, right? That's our behavioral immune system. He's actually probably not going to get sick and die from having sex with a chicken and then eating it, but ew, right? It makes it possible for people to invest objects with irrational and extreme values, both positive and negative, which are important for binding groups together. So again, I think the Old Spice commercial and like how it's making a joke of trying to imbue the Old Spice by putting it in the place of the diamonds and the thing that you like, and then it's the Old Spice. So it's just a joke about how the Old Spice is the equivalent of diamonds or tickets, right? So it's making a joke of it, but it's imbuing that object with we would say a fetishistic value. Like it's not just soap. It's got like a. Here's the thing. Do you guys recognize these? So there's this big problem in the 80s. You guys weren't there, but they did this big taste test between Coke and Pepsi, right? You guys heard of Coke and Pepsi? Okay. Do you guys know which is the number one selling soft drink and which is the number two? Yeah, Coke is perpetually number one. But so Pepsi's been working on this for a long time, and so Pepsi noticed when they were doing taste tests that almost everybody preferred the taste of Pepsi to Coke in blind taste tests. And so they started doing a lot of these and marketing it. And it's just like, hey, we pretty much have replicable scientific proof that people prefer the taste of Pepsi. So Coke starts doing them, and people are preferring the taste of Pepsi. Oh no. So Coke goes and changes their formula, changes it to New Coke, which tastes less like malted battery acid, apparently. And it started outperforming Pepsi on the taste test. So they pull out their old formula, put on New Coke, and what happens? For the first time in known history, Coke falls to number 2. Even though, by any objective measure, Coke also, and now tastes better. So what is this? People just hate the taste of delicious soda? Well, they also changed their marketing campaign. And so so if I was a Freudian, which I'm not, but I used to be, so this is why I have this example in the stock register. In Freudian psychology, does anyone know what the most desirable object is? No. All right. Not only that, but it's the actual object is the phallus. So it's in a weird. I'm not going to explain all of the logic for it, but so like well, I've gone this far. It's the fetish speech. Okay, so Freud thought that have you guys ever heard of fetishes? Okay, so what's a fetish? Okay, well I'll just let it emerge organically from the conversation. So Freud was had this theory, and all of his theories start with a little boy and something about sex. So this little boy is crawling around or walking around or whatever, and just doing little boy stuff, and then he accidentally finds himself looking up the skirt of a woman, and then blam, he's initiated into the sexual world. And but this is frightening for the boy, because according to Freud, the female genitalia is paradoxically the thing that the boy wants the most, but he's also terrified of it, because for Freud, it resembles what it would look like on the boy if his penis and testicles were to be lopped off, castrated, castration anxiety. So he's also terrified of it, right? So are you just rolling your eyes? No, it's okay, because, yeah, right? No, but it's okay. But this is, so his idea was, so for fetishes, no, it's kind of an eye roller in all
We
fairness.
have to do that in my upcoming class. They call it like the uncanny.
Yeah, the uncanny. So it's a very uncanny thing. So anyway, so he's looking up. So he's got this. He really wants it, but he's really scared of it. So what his little brain does is it fixates on the last thing that he saw before the jackpot shot, and that becomes the safe place for him to be, for his sexual attraction to go, because it's okay to want it. And so for Freud, it was so think about, like some fetishes. So stockings, right? Underwear. So these are all the last things that you would see. Lingerie, right? The last thing that you see. Shoes, feet, fur. So with the exception of fur, Freud noticed that like big boots, like everything sort of resembled. So here's a big boot. Here's a stockinged leg. Little whip. So he's like, well, obviously what he's doing is he's imagining that there's a phallus there, so it's safe. So it's like, oh no, this has nothing to do with me being castrated and being terrifying. Because if you think about it, it would be a turnoff if, you don't want to associate the feelings of having your genitals lopped off and sex at the same time. That's not sexy. I mean, unless you're that guy. I mean, apparently it is for some people. There's that guy that paid someone to eat his genitals, but let's just assume that's not common. So anyway, the idea is the phallic shape gets imbued with this symbolic power, and this brings us back to the sanctity thing, right? And it becomes a charged sexual object, even though like nobody in their right. I mean, there's this really evolutionary bad idea if you're more sexually attracted to a boot than a woman, right? But nonetheless, but so this is just a little psychic trick that people with fetishes use in order to brave the waters of castration anxiety, right? So and then this is a horrible rendition of the iconic Coke bottle, but the iconic Coke bottle is just this silhouette that looks somewhere between the figure of a alluring female and a phallus, and incidentally, Freud would say that the figure of an alluring female is phallic, not by coincidence. So and then this is Coke, right? And this is the iconic Coke bottle, right? Coke is it. It's it. Enjoy. Coke is it. Enjoy Coca-Cola. It's it. Enjoy. It. Enjoy. It. Enjoy. Really brilliant ad campaign, if Freud was right. And I think that this... Then we have Pepsi. As one of my students in just the last class, I said, well, what do you see? He said, a vagina with a black eye. So my hypothesis is, if I was to say why is Pepsi the superior tasting beverage, perpetually number 2 to Coca-Cola, if Freud was right, and Freud may have been right. He was right about some things because he said everything about everything, so he's got to be right sometimes. Like my mom always predicts disaster. And then inevitably sometimes disaster happens and she's like, I told you! Right? I'm like, Mom, you say that every time. Right, but so that's an example of sanctity degradation working on, if I was to look at a Coke ad. All right. Does that make any sense at all to anybody? Was it at least an entertaining digression? Yeah. Okay, then that's good enough for me. Okay, so back to the assignment. So that's sanctity degradation. So we're still on step 4. So then you look at the specific details of your object and connect them to one or more of the moral foundations. Here's some examples. Some will be obvious. An ad with a puppy in it is probably appealing to the care harm foundation and or the loyalty betrayal foundation. Right? So like the puppy coming home after the long trip. Right? You guys see the one that GoDaddy pulled? We're not going to watch it because it actually pisses me off. But I'll tell you about it. What happens is it's the puppy comes home. It's making fun of the Budweiser commercial, right? The puppy comes home and then braves all the elements and stuff. It's a cute little puppy. He comes home only to find that he's been sold online on a GoDaddy site. Yeah, it's funny. It still pisses me off. You can basically kick anyone in the whole world in the face. I'm like, but like puppies, I like puppies, but not anyone. Like don't anybody kicks you guys in the face, it's on, unless it's me. But then it's on for different reasons. But loyalty. So we like dogs. Some people, it depends on the person, but lots of people, for some reason, people who are Republican tend to think that loyalty is the best trait that a dog can have, right? And then where liberals will say friendliness or cuddliness or something. Like, why are people so stereotypical? But they are. But loyalty, some people really like dogs because they're loyal. I have an extremely loyal dog, and only likes me and only listens to me, and my wife hates the dog because of it. But she's loyal. I say she's loyal. He says, not to me. No, that's the problem with loyalty, because if you're loyal to somebody, you're not loyal to everyone else, right? Okay. A soap ad with a really cool guy in it is likely appealing to authority subversion and possibly sanctity degradation. Why sanctity degradation for a soap commercial? Hygiene, right? It's so obvious as to be sort of like make you suspicious that, well, it's soap and cleanliness, and that's what it's all about, but really? They're playing this in class? That's why I hate grad students. Okay. Political ads often make appeals to the Fairness Cheating Foundation. So the classic one of this is getting free riders off the welfare ticket, right? You'll attack. This was a controversial ad campaigns in the 80s that they had pictures of black women, single black women with kids, and this was like the welfare mom. And they're like, we got to kick these moms off welfare so they can get jobs and stop having babies, So it's like no free rider type logic to it. So that's there. Okay. Look very closely at every important element in the text and determine how it engages or fails to engage the moral foundation you have identified. So this is your analytical work. You're gonna take a specific element, and we'll run through an ad, so you'll have this modeled. But you just got to connect different moments. Like if you're doing an ad, you connect this moment. It's like this moment, of the puppy engages in. Well, let me see what I said. Does it use rational arguments or self-justifying reasons to reinforce that connection? For example, you could smell like the man that your girlfriend really wants if you buy this soap. Does it have syrupy music playing while puppy eyes engage your care system? Does it positively try to engage the subversion cue by playing hip music while it encourages you to rebel against the status quo technology that everyone has? For example, anti-iPhone commercial. Does it engage the sanctity degradation system by showing disgusting images and attempt to associate them with a habit you ought to break? You guys remember these anti-smoking commercials, right? They just show like a big plate of worms and say don't smoke. And it's just supposed to, okay. For those of us that were smoking then, it was very stressful and forced us to light one up. It was very difficult. But this should occupy the bulk of your analysis. That is at least 4 or 5, there's that word again, robust paragraphs. Okay, and again, if you're doing a different approach, you just switch these for, your ethos, pathos, logos, or whatever you want, right? Step 5. Yeah, I spent like a couple hours looking at monkey pictures. I have no regrets. Does it work? Step 5. Evaluate the effectiveness of each major element you have examined. Consider the context in which it appears, how well it engages the moral foundation or foundations it intends to, the validity of its rational arguments, not only are they right, but also do we care, and its target audience. Also consider the ethics involved. Does it try to convince its audience to act against its own best interest? Does it attempt to circumvent or negate rational thinking? Review Thaler and Sunstein's list of motivations at the beginning of Nudge, which seems to apply here. This will function as your conclusion and should not exceed 1 or 2 paragraphs. Probably 1. Okay, so and the reason I'm doing this, and this is the same thing we're doing with our CTKs, I'm taking your kind of personal evaluation and trying to strain it out so you can try to be objective about your analysis. Now we know that true objectivity is, like it's impossible to get, but like it's something to work toward. So your value judgments and stuff, even if you think the commercial is horrible and stupid and you're totally against it, I want you to just keep that under wraps, and then at the end, and then you can just like let it all go. And it's like, this is so stupid, I can't believe that someone would do that with a cheeseburger, whatever. And then we have step 6. Thesis. Summarize your argument in 1 or 2 brilliantly concise sentences. Introduce it in a charming, engaging manner and stick it at the top of your paper. So this is opposite of what everybody does, right? So why would you think that maybe I just like decided that we should do the thesis last?
Because we get the whole wrap up of everything.
Yeah, because so I'm teaching how stupid it is how we get an idea first, and then we get all of things and we just shove it in, right? Post hoc confabulatory reasoning, where we already decide, and then we just take stuff and then fit it into our argument. So that's what we're teaching when we teach you to have a thesis statement first, right? We're teaching you to decide something out of the blue and then BS your way through a paper, which is a fine skill to have, but you've already done it enough. So I'm going to try it doing backwards. Does this mean that you won't have somewhere in your mind a provisional thesis statement? No, you will. There's no such thing as abstract gymnastics. It would just be stupid. But this is the exercise. And then step 7, revise into a coherent paper. So for your draft due next Monday, it doesn't have to be revised into a coherent paper. I just want these, and they can be chunked out. Some people work better that way. I would work better chunking it out first, and then revising it. But some people are just like, just in the flow, man. Once I get writing, I just need to write, man. I just need to write. So you don't have to either way. Whatever your fetish is regarding writing, go with it, man. There's no boots. Boots. Funny word. Okay, grading. Any questions before we go to grading? Any dumb questions? Yeah, Crumbo. Can I do like a fire alarm? Yeah. Yeah.
So the 5th paragraph is where we say our opinion on it?
Huh?
And the 5th paragraph is where we say our opinion on it?
Yeah. But not just an opinion, a well-grounded. Yeah. Yeah.
Could we just shoot you an email for you to accept something else that we're doing?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, even though I said it and it's in print, I'm going to back off at thinking now, because the only reason that I want you to approve it with me before is that you don't do something that's too hard. So if you're going to do something that's like a pair of spandex shorts, I want to talk to you about that and make sure that you know what you're getting into. But if you're just doing are you thinking like an advertisement?
Yeah.
Yeah, if it's any advertisement's fair play, you don't need. So any advertisement is de facto approved. Okay, so you don't need to approve it with me. Just if you're doing something weird. Like a boot.
Question.
Yeah.
After we turn our drafts, as well as we do the revising, can we get an idea of what our grade would be, from the draft?
Well, you can come to my office hours, and I won't tell you this is like a B or whatever, but I'll say, well, this is strong and this is not, because grading's grading, and it's I could say prediction is a fool's game, as my $100,000 bet with the guy at Trader Joe's indicates. So I try not to do it.
Alright, sounds good.
Yes, ma'am.
So I'm pretty sure you already said this. Like,
That's fine. That's fine. It's-
but like, so can you do like, well, not a music video, but kind of
Yeah.
like a cover? And when I just like point out, like, do the same thing of what it's addressing or whatever?
Yeah. So if you're to do a music video, right? The thing that you just have to keep in mind is you're not doing it like a 101 thing. Like you could do like a novel or a short story too. You're not doing it like a 101 thing. You're not like looking for hidden meanings or whatever, right?
Okay.
You're looking for what it's trying to accomplish,
Okay.
right? So it's just a way of looking. It's rhetorical analysis isn't about an object. It's about a way of looking at an object.
Okay.
But yeah. Okay. So grading. A is something that's better than really good. Really good is a B. If you don't screw anything up, you got a B. Good job. B's a good thing. So the A is like obviously, you know, like this exceeds expectations. You did something awesome. This is not just a really good, competent paper. This is you know, everything perfect plus that extra something. That extra something could be all kinds of different things, but it's extraordinary. Like it's not just it's you're you know, everybody that's on an NFL team is awesome, but some people are a little bit more awesome. They're an A, right? Because you're all awesome. You're college students. You're all awesome. You're all smart. You're great. You're wonderful. You're all capable of everything. Wonderful. Some of you will probably be my bosses soon. It'll be good. And you can give me a bad grade. That's fine. A is, you don't start with an A and then get chipped away. You start with a vague, maybe this is something, and then you get points, and then the A is like a perfect hamburger, but with like a new kind of wasabi sauce that just puts it over the top. This is not just a burger. This is a burger with a capital B.
Do you give out these?
Huh?
Do you give out these?
Yeah.
Like often,
Like on a scale of 1 to 10.
Well, I mean, you're talking. I think every semester, pretty much except for one, I gave at least an A.
one.
So
only one.
frequency. I mean, are you talking about, you know, like, so pretty much in every class, you know, there's somebody will get an A. There'll be some A's. I can't guarantee a number. You know, I think that somebody publishes my grade spreads online. I don't know if I protested against it, but I think that somewhere it's out there. So I'm not. It's not impossible. It's sort of difficult, but I don't know. Is it possible to get an A? Dean got an A in my 101 class. So, see, there you go. I'm sure that's got nothing to do with why you wanted to take my class. Okay, so B is everything's perfect, but you know, it just doesn't have special sauce. This is a good, competent burger. It's not burned. The bun's not stale. You know, good burger. But you know, I mean, good burger. Thank you. And then C is, you know, like, it's a stale bun. You know, like there's a you know, the too much mayo. The mushrooms were overcooked. You know, like you call this gorgonzola, where we raised in true fall. You know, that sort of thing. And then of course there's the bad grades, which happens. There's no meat on this burger. You actually just went to Carl's Jr. and ordered a burger there and put it on a plate and gave it to me here and charged $35 for it. I have had a $35 burger once. It wasn't very good. It was at the Hotel del Coronado. I'm all about Coronado and I'm all about the Hotel del. Their burgers leave something to be desired. Yes, sir.
Under the B category, it's supposed to be excludes competence, right? Not
No, exudes. Exudes competence. So if I exude oiliness, that means that I'm very oily. So this is exuding competence. So the idiomatic saying is exuding confidence. And I was just, you could commiserate with my wife and daughters about my sense of humor. Yes, it is a lame joke, I know, but I think it's funny nonetheless. Okay, any more questions? Okay, so now what we can do is We have 20 minutes? Is that right? Quit trying to trick me. Yeah, we have 22 minutes. So for those of you that had a advertisement that you wanted to do, will you feel completely hosed over if we don't do it today? No? Okay. All right, so what we're going to do now, we're going to all look at an advertisement that somebody chose from my last class, but it worked pretty well. Pepsi logos. Oh, never mind, I lost it anyway. So let's do an ad, and well, so if you have a laptop or whatever, pull up the list, and we'll do a test run. We'll do a test run on an advertisement. You know what, I'm going to do that because this worked pretty well. I'm going to do the one that we did in the last class, even though it's not up. Is there a history thing somewhere around here?
I think you should do
Control H. Carl Jr.'s commercial. I don't want the collection though. I just want the one. The collection was a little bit much.
Just look it up on YouTube.
Yeah, I'll just do that. I don't remember what it was. It was.
I'm pretty sure that's.
I don't want the collect. Yeah, this one. Okay. All right. So we're gonna watch this burger commercial. So first we're just going to watch it. Just soak it in. Just listen to everything. Listen to the music. Look where the burger goes. You know, like just soak it in.
I'm giving up that teriyaki burger. I'm totally obsessed. I have to be a little bad. I call it my bikini burger.
The Carl's Jr. Teriyaki Burger with grilled pineapple, more than just a piece of meat.
So, look this hot
I don't
in
want
bikini.
to freeze there. Okay. So now we're going to go through and we're going to listen and we're going to look for keywords and like key images. But we'll write down some keywords that we look up. So this is kind of our summary section. All right, ready?
To look this hot in a bikini.
All right. To look this hot in a bikini, I'm going to write hot. And I'm going to write bikini. And I'm going to note to myself the caliber of jackass that says, to look this hot in a bikini, that, wow. I hope that none of you would say that. If my daughter did, I would be, what's that?
She's like the top rated bikini.
Yeah, I know. Which is another thing. Because, you know, like, if my daughter was the top rated bikini model, would I be proud of her? No. Would I still love her? Possibly. But yeah, there is top rated bikini body. Who rates these things? Okay.
I gotta give up, like, everything.
I gotta give up like everything. Give up like everything. Interesting. Okay, and this is important with eating burgers. This is how I always eat my burger.
But there's no way I'm giving up that teriyaki burger.
No way I'm giving up that teriyaki burger. Okay.
I'm totally obsessed.
Totally obsessed. Huh. You notice that she just keeps taking that first bite again and again?
Yeah. I have to be a little bad.
A little bad.
I call it my bikini burger.
Bikini burger.
Carl's Jr. teriyaki burger.
Okay. Any other words that you want me to write on the board? Okay. So let's look at our. Oops. What the? I think I've broken it. That was exactly the opposite of what I wanted. Okay. What is love? I had a dream that I was freestyling, or not freestyling, but reciting Nas's halftime in front of you. I think because I've been talking too much about the gang thing. I don't think you guys were impressed. It was sad. All right, so this commercial. The Care Harm Foundation. Does this appeal to the Care Harm Foundation? Let me read it to you again. The Care Harm Foundation evolved in response to adaptive challenge of caring for vulnerable children. It makes us sensitive to signs of suffering and need. It makes us despise cruelty and want to care for those who are suffering. Do we see that here? Yeah, she's suffering. I mean, obviously she's malnourished. So if I really wanted to stretch it, could I say that, like, oh yeah, this is they're trying to get us to buy burgers for starving supermodels because they need food. Probably not. So I'm going to say that this probably does not do. And I mean, does somebody want to do a defense of the Care Harm Foundation being the appeal here? Okay, I don't think so either. I'm going to be honest with you. I feel like that's pushing it. The Fairness Cheating Foundation evolved in response to the adaptive challenge of reaping the rewards of cooperation without getting exploited. It makes us sensitive to indications that another person is likely to be a good or bad partner for collaboration and reciprocal altruism. It makes us want to shun or punish cheaters. A little bad. She's being naughty, right? She's cheating on her diet. So she's using, so I'm going to say provisionally yes. So I'm going to write it up on the board. So I think this is in play here. I'm going to write it all the way back here. Because I want to walk back and forth. Fairness cheating. Okay. I'm going to walk all the way back to the front and then all the way back to the right the next one. Unless you want to write it for me.
Do you want me to?
Do you want to write it? I can.
You just said you wanted to walk back and forth. Are you being sarcastic?
Not quite sarcastic. I was just kind of talking myself out of it as I went along. But you if you don't want to, that's fine.
It's not that I don't want to.
Okay. All right. So, fairness cheating. So she's cheating on her diet. So why is cheating? Because cheating's usually a bad thing, right? Like if my wife cheats on me, that sucks, right?
Yeah.
But like why is there a pleasure in being a little bit naughty? No? All right, pretend like this is somebody that you know that thinks that there's something interesting about being a little bit naughty. And they're just that person. They like to, break the rules a little bit sometimes, right? Being a little bit, like, have a bonbon after 8. Lose their chastity ring in no. I almost crossed the line big time there. But just there's a pleasure in occasionally, like letting loose, right? I've been studying every night, like I really shouldn't, but I'm gonna, right? And then so it's an indulgence, right? This is their words. And it's indulgence and so it's a good thing because man, we're all just so strict all the time, and we never indulge ourselves. So sometimes it's good to do that, right? So can you circle the cheating on the fairness cheating so we know that we've got nothing to do with fairness here. Thank you. All right. So the next one is the Loyalty Betrayal Foundation evolved in response to the adaptive challenge of forming and maintaining coalitions or bonds. It makes us sensitive to signs that another person is or is not a team player. It makes us trust and reward such people, and it makes us want to hurt, ostracize, or even kill those who betray us or our group. And they give up like everything, totally obsessed. Anyone want to defend this one? Let's watch it again. Because you've really got to know your object well if you're going to analyze it.
To look this hot in a bikini, I gotta give up, like, everything. But there's no way I'm giving up that teriyaki burger. I'm totally obsessed. I have to be a little bad. I call it my bikini burger.
The Carl's Jr. Teriyaki.
So I'm gonna. This might be a stretch, but I'm gonna say on the same thing of the fairness cheating. This is what it's appealing to. So the Loyalty Betrayal Foundation, but again inverting the positive negative of it. So now nobody in this room thinks this way. Yeah.
On like a sort of like slightly like not off topic note, not like they drop the burger. Like how does like the teriyaki burger and like they drop it right there? How does like it not fall out? You know, like how does it not fall apart? You know what I mean?
It's probably just a virtual burger.
It is, I was just curious.
Yeah, I don't know. That'd be an interesting. Maybe we could email Carl's Jr. and ask.
Yeah.
Or we could do an experiment and buy like 50 of them and like figure out how far you drop them. Okay, but I want to go back to the Loyalty Betrayal Foundation. So we've got this naughty girl here, right? That's cheating, right? So so if you were not just a guy but that guy, why would a hot girl that's being naughty be like somebody that might be like in a questionable loyalty betrayal thing? Say she's got a boyfriend, but she's being a little naughty. Why would that be an attractive thing if you were that guy? Just pretend like you're that guy. Why would that possibly be?
That's your girlfriend?
No, that's somebody else's girlfriend.
Oh, that's like, but you're dating someone.
You could be dating. You're that guy. So you're dating like 3 people. But so she's advertising that she indulges sometimes. She's cheating. She's betraying. Why would that be a good thing if you're that guy? Yeah, because that means that she's going to put out, right? Yeah, right. So it's sexual access. So this is a good thing, in like a burger slut, right? Okay, so I'm gonna. Can you write? It's a loyalty betrayal and circle betrayal. So this is the language, right? You gotta be a little bad sometimes. That's what I'm gonna do with my life. Just ruin everybody. Ruin everything for everybody. Okay. So, Authority Subversion Foundation evolved in response to the adaptive challenges of forging relationships that will benefit us within social hierarchies. It makes us sense to signs of rank or status and to signs that other people are or are not behaving properly given their position. Well, you listen to her ostensibly. She's addressing she's offering herself up as a model to be emulated because she's got the top-rated bikini body, and I know that all of us in here wish that we had the top-rated bikini body, myself especially. And so she's giving her advice. You've got to give up like everything, right? So she's actually giving, she's offering herself up as an authority figure of, like if you want to look hot, you got to give up like everything, but you can be totally obsessed with a burger. Yes, sir.
No.
Okay. So I think this one's a little bit of a stretch because, all right, let's do another blind thing just in the interest of science. Everyone, close your eyes. If this commercial made you want a burger, even a little bit, raise your hand. Okay. Okay, you may open your ears. This wasn't the. So we had a 2-to-1 ratio of, if you were a dude, you were twice as likely to want a burger, or twice as many dudes wanted a burger after watching this commercial as chicks. You guys mind if I say dudes and chicks? No, okay. Some people get offended. So, so can you write authority subversion? But we did have one. So apparently she is working as a model, as a model. And we're going to all go out and get teriyaki burgers so we can look like that.
Authority and what?
Subversion. And then circle authority. SUBVERSION. And then circle authority.
So
That's awesome that you can't even, because it's your military training. You can't even think subversion. That's good. You're doing a good job. And then we've got the my personal favorite. The sanctity degradation foundation evolved initially in response to the adaptive challenge of the omnivore's dilemma, and then to the broader challenge of living in a world of pathogens and parasites. Pathogens and parasites, an omnivore's dilemma. You can't eat everything. You can't eat everything. We're not done. We got 5 minutes. That includes the behavioral immune system, which can make us wary of a diverse array of symbolic objects and threats. It makes it possible for people to invest objects with irrational and extreme values, both positive and negative, which are important for binding groups together. So are there any objects here that are imbued with some sort of value that exceeds like what they actually are?
The burger.
The burger? Well, let's do a little thought experiment with me as we watch it again. Have you guys seen the what's the Borat? You guys seen Borat? You know that the fat hairy guy that he gets his butt in his face? You remember that guy? So picture that guy in her place, wearing what she's wearing and doing what she's doing. All right?
To look this hot in a bikini, I gotta give up like everything. But there's no way I'm giving up that teriyaki burger. I'm totally obsessed. I have to be a little bad. I call it my bikini burger.
Okay, that's the money shot. So if we've got the other guy with the burger. So she's touching this, and earlier I couldn't catch it in time, but she touches it on her boob too. You've got to catch it at just the right time. I wasn't able to, and I'm not going to keep trying. But so just as an omnivore, like just your disgust system, like, do you want like sweaty nipple on your burger? Yeah, but her, because this is not a human body that's crawling with oils and scents and smells and fungus and rashes and that sort of thing, right? This has been elevated outside of the range of, this is not a human body. This is an object of worship, right? And this burger is not a burger. This burger is something that, like that you can rub on your belly and it's still yummy, right? So, so big time, I'm saying, can you put sanctity degradation up? And I'm thinking probably primarily that's where this is going. Because, and that's the weirdest thing about this commercial. There's a lot of weird things about the commercial. Except, how do they get the stupid burger to fall is also important. And you can maybe circle both, because like degradation's a kind of sanctity, and she's degrading the burger but sanctifying it by rubbing it on her body, right? Sort of? Yeah, okay. I don't think that she's very smart. And I'm worried about her future because she's not always going to look that good. She's relying on youth cues here. And there's nothing more pathetic than an aging bikini model. You know, because then she'll start, when she can't get to bikini gigs anymore, she'll go into novelty porn, and then she's off to mom. Okay, so I want to look through it one more time, and this time I want to listen to the music.
The Carl's Jr.
To look this hot in a bikini,
Just listen to the music.
I gotta give up, like, everything. But there's no way I'm giving up that teriyaki burger.
You've got the money
I'm
maker.
totally obsessed.
Ah,
I
ah,
have
ah.
to be a little bad.
Yeah.
I call it my bikini burger.
The Carl's Jr. teriyaki burger with gold.
So these are all the things that, so also the last thing that I would, something I think significant, and I think this builds into the sanctity part, so this would be in my sanctity paragraph, the way that she's doing all the cuts, right? The cut here, it's not just like sitting there eating a burger, it's like cut, 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 cut. So has anybody seen Psycho? Okay, it's a visual, I'm thinking of the shower scene. They also use it in porn. It's the cut, 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 cut from different things, and it serves to objectify, to put the girl into parts, so she's not just a big stinky body. She's a collection of, you know, like really sexy elbows and boobs and stuff that's sort of like put together, and yeah, it's like, look at the elbow on that, honey. But yeah, I guess we're done. So I'll see you Wednesday. Yes, sir.
Can I analyze a game? A
Yeah.
phone game?
Yeah. I trust you, man.